Today we're going to talk a little bit about solar plants and the differences between a grid-tie solar plant and a standalone solar plant. So in general, a solar plant is made up of three parts. One, the obvious piece here is the solar panel itself. This is what pulls energy from the light of the sun. Inside of here is a charge controller, and that's what transfers that energy from the panel into the loads. And the third part is those loads. In this case, it's a handful of camera equipment and the batteries. The batteries are actually part of the load. That's where the energy gets dumped into when there's excess, and that's where the energy gets pulled from whenever there's not enough sunlight available. This is a standalone plant, and that means that all of the power that is produced by the panels is either used by the load or stored in the battery. And whenever there's no available solar, the only place that power is available from is that same battery bank. In a grid tie system, the difference there is that all of the power is either used by the load or it's sent to the grid. Whenever there's no available power, the grid has to supply power for your loads. The reason why that is important whenever you're judging these devices is that for a standalone solar plant, the important thing is that it is able to support that load in all weather conditions throughout all seasons of the year. In a grid tie system, the most important thing is producing the most average power throughout the year. So a grid tie system should be judged by how much power you produce throughout the year. A standalone system should be judged by how well it maintains its loads throughout the year. One of the offshoots of that is that in a standalone system, you've got to design it for the worst case scenario. Since the winter is the worst time of the year, it's got the least amount of sun, it's the hardest on your batteries, and in some cases your loads have extra heaters or things that cause the load to be greater during the winter. That is what it has to be designed for. So a standalone system is usually over-designed for the summer so that it can survive the winter, whereas a grid tie system is viewed as the average throughout the year, and it's a distinct difference that you should be aware of.